"Stay 10 feet behind me, and don't speak unless I ask," she snapped, her diamond heels striking marble like gunshots. Reporters swarmed at the hotel entrance, their cameras flashing, hungry for the millionaire's next scandal. She didn't even flinch, her face carved in ice, her tone sharper than glass. To the world, she was untouchable. To her new bodyguard, Daniel, she was unbearable. Every order was barked like he was dirt. "Don't touch me, don't look at me, just do your job." Daniel clenched his jaw, but obeyed. He'd been hired to protect her from threats, but no one warned him about the firestorm of arrogance that lived inside her. The staff whispered behind her back, fans online called her heartless, and even her family had long stopped calling. She had money, power, fame, but not a single soul who truly cared. Still, Daniel did his duty. Day after day, he walked those cold corridors behind her. He watched her dismiss waiters, roll her eyes at assistants, and crush anyone who dared to disagree. Yet when the lights dimmed and the crowds disappeared, he caught something different. Alone in her penthouse, she sat by the window staring at the city, quiet, small, almost unbroken. The breaking point came one stormy night. A stalker breached security, forcing Daniel to shield her with his own body. She screamed, not out of fear, but fury. "Do you know who I am? No one dares come near me." Her voice cracked, as if she was trying to convince herself. When the danger passed, she collapsed on the floor, trembling, mascara streaking down her face. For the first time, Daniel saw her not as the ice queen the world knew, but as a fragile woman drowning behind armor too heavy to carry. He didn't say much, just handed her his jacket and whispered, "Even queens get cold sometimes." She looked at him, stunned. No one had ever spoken to her like she was human. Over the next weeks, subtle cracks appeared. Daniel noticed she lingered in conversation when he asked about her day. She laughed, awkward, rusty, like she'd forgotten how. One night, when the city was asleep, she confessed in a whisper that she never chose this life. "My father built an empire and told me I was its prisoner. If I smiled, people took advantage. If I cried, they mocked me. So I stopped being a person at all." Her backstory hit Daniel like a punch. A childhood locked behind gates, lessons in boardrooms instead of playgrounds, her birthday celebrated with lawyers and investors instead of friends. She learned early that vulnerability was punished, kindness was weakness, and love, well, a fairy tale for people poorer than her. But Daniel didn't treat her like a client. He treated her like a person. When she snapped, he didn't cower, he held his ground. When she isolated, he sat nearby in silence, letting her know she wasn't alone. Slowly, her walls cracked. The turning point came during a gala. Cameras flashed as she walked the red carpet in a glittering gown, her arm hooked around Daniel's for security purposes. A snide reporter sneered, "Does your bodyguard smile more than you, Miss Steele?" The crowd laughed cruelly. For a moment she froze, the old mask ready to slam down. But then Daniel whispered, "You don't owe them coldness. Show them you're alive." For the first time in years, she smiled. Not the polished PR smile she perfected, but a real, radiant human smile. The crowd went silent, and in that silence, something shifted forever. The media spun wild stories of romance. The internet buzzed about her mystery glow, but she didn't care. That night in the limousine, she turned to Daniel and whispered, "You didn't just save me from danger, you saved me from myself." Tears welled in her eyes, shocking even her. She had wealth, she had fame, but for the first time, she had humanity. Daniel wasn't dazzled by her riches, wasn't afraid of her power, wasn't blinded by her beauty. He simply saw her. And in that seeing, she discovered love. Love not in roses and poetry, but in safety, respect, and truth. She wasn't just the millionaire anymore. She was a woman who had finally been reminded that her worth wasn't her bank account, but her heart. Moral: money can buy everything except what matters most. True wealth is found in compassion, in connection, in love that strips away masks and sees the soul beneath. When she finally introduced Daniel not as her bodyguard, but the man who gave her back her humanity, the room erupted in applause, and for the first time in her life, she didn't feel like a queen. She felt free. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.